It is 26 degrees this morning here in Brooksville, Florida. We are at the Florida Cracker Kitchen for breakfast. And today we're going to do what?
We're going to continue our journey following the DeSoto Trail. We got a pretty ambitious day planned today, about 5 or 6 of the stops. And we're going to see the markers. And I got to tell you, these markers, it's very difficult to find if you go online. They don't tell you the exact location. They give you like a certain park. It's in the park, but we're going to try to find them. There's not a lot of information on what's on them, and I'm going to try to talk about what probably happened in the area during the march. So we'll be doing that.
All right. Well, let's get started. Let's go have breakfast over here first at the Florida Cracker Kitchen.
Excellent.
They got good reviews.
I'm hungry.
Me too. I wanted to show this boot. I just realized that is in the shape of Florida. Hey. I want a t-shirt like that. All right, so this is Brooksville. And Chris is patiently waiting to go have breakfast. I'm on my way. It's just the sights here are pretty cool. And let's see in this new sleigh, I guess. And this is Discoveries with Kathy. And today I am following the footsteps of my historian, Chris. And he is following the footsteps of Hernando de Soto. So where is our first stop today?
We're going to be heading out to the Tibet Butler Nature Preserve near Orlando.
And I guess we'll see what we can find there.
Yep.
And what was Hernando up to, right?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Here we go. Chris, can you tell us about this site?
It's kiosk number 6. We're in the Tibet Butler Nature Preserve in Orlando. And this is where DeSoto sent out scouts, and eventually he followed. And they were looking for the chief of the village of Uraparacoxy. And they didn't find him. He went into hiding. And DeSoto and his scouts got some food out here. And then they moved north and rejoined the main army that was told to move north too. And they were trying to reach another great kingdom, which they were told had lots of gold. This is what the Native Americans would do. They would say, yeah, the next village has a lot of gold. Go there.
That's
they
smart.
headed for Ocala, which was the area of what is now Ocala in Florida. And that's what they did.
That's it? That's what happened here?
Yeah.
Well, that's impressive. Wow. And it's a beautiful place. You can come here and hang out.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's a nature preserve. Wow. They have little gardens you can walk through and learn the plants. Wildlife. They have turtles over there. I saw a few.
This is fantastic because we're not only discovering this historical journey, but just the places that we're visiting. A lot of them are so beautiful, and we probably wouldn't have otherwise found them.
Yeah, they're truly beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, let's go find that next kiosk.
All right.
All right, here we go.
The Mikey Sandstone Park. And remember what we did?
We drove around, up and down, all around, hiked on some trails, and there was no kiosk.
No, we looked everywhere.
Hmm.
Couldn't find it.
It was a little frustrating.
I don't even know if there was really ever one there, but I did. The only evidence that I found that there was a kiosk there was a flyer that they have online for the park itself, and it
Hmm.
mentions as an amenity the DeSoto kiosk. Couldn't find anything online about what it looked like or what it talked about, but I did come across kind of in my sources, I went home and looked it up, something that happened near what is now Plant City, kind of a funny story. It appears that the conquistadors stopped at a pond near Plant City and they dismounted and left their horses, and all of a sudden a rabbit jumped out and scared the horses off, and they ran off, and they had to go run and capture them, which
Great
left them
story.
pretty vulnerable
Hmm.
because the horses are really what gave them the edge over the natives. But they nicknamed that pond there
Rabbit Lake,
Rabbit Lake. Yeah,
of
Rabbit
course.
Lake. Yeah, and they don't know exactly which pond it was. It's in that vicinity though, but I thought that was an interesting story. And maybe the kiosk said something about Rabbit Lake or Rabbit Pond.
It is so beautiful over here. Check this out. Ooh, the birds. Chris is on the trail of DeSoto. Where'd he go? Let's go find Chris. I'm gonna try and make friends with this little fella. He's walking towards me. Come on. I was having a great time out there chasing the birds, and Chris called me and he found the kiosk. Well, here it is, and what happened here, Chris?
Well, this is Lake Parker. The kiosk that we're going to be looking at is kiosk number 8, and it's where the Army stopped, and then they sent like a scout out to the east, and then DeSoto followed with other soldiers, met them, and then called the rest of the Army north. The thing is, once they went north, they were attacked, and several of the Spanish were killed. And from what I've read, they buried their dead, and then the natives came back later, dug up the dead, and cut them up into pieces.
Oh, jeez, this
So
graphic.
that was near here.
Wow,
So
no.
that's kind of interesting.
Like near here?
In this beautiful area right
So,
here, yeah.
oh,
Not in this park, but in this vicinity north of here. Hmm.
the things
Yeah.
those people went through back in 1539.
Right, right.
Horribly graphic.
Yeah, so they kind of split their army a little bit, but then they met up further on north.
Hmm. Makes me happy I live in the 21st century,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, so this is where we are, Lake Parker. You can see the little lake here. DeSoto stopped the army here. They waited. They were running out of food, and they sent a scout up here to find out where the village of Uraparacoxy was. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually DeSoto followed him up here and then ordered the army north. And someplace north of this, there was this big attack that I just talked to you about earlier. And eventually they all met up here, and they moved this way towards what was called Ocala, which is now Ocala.
Chris is over at the kiosk doing his own video. He'll fill us in a minute. He's a historian and does historical presentations. He's been doing them for over 30 years. And he puts together presentations of historical topics. And they're very good, very interesting. He's very smart. And we'll check out the train while he's doing his video. Cute. Too bad it's not open. I love trains. I'll have to come back. Well, let's go over to the kiosk and see what Chris can tell us. Here we are in Zephyrhills. Chris, he's the one that's running the kiosk. I'm the passenger. He gets the credit. Anyways, Chris, fill us in on kiosk number...
Number 9, I think.
Uh-huh.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But finally we found an intact kiosk. Yes, and this is in Zephyrhills, Florida. And it tells how DeSoto and his men had just come across a big grassy plain, and it was dry, it was hot in the summer, and there was a lack of water. And many people were dying of thirst. But the ironic thing is, this is Zephyrhills.
Right.
And Zephyrhills is known for its spring water.
Mm-hmm.
When we go to the supermarket, that's what we buy, Zephyrhills bottled spring water. The other thing is that the Native Americans that were leading them purposely led them away from the springs for that reason.
Oh, so they knew that there were springs.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they were captives.
Yes.
And they also led them away from the village locations so they couldn't raid the villages too.
That's really interesting. I was going to mention on that. I thought maybe there was a drought or something, but no, it was the Indians. How smart.
But there was a drought too, so they just thought naturally that everything was dried up.
The springs is just something that's constantly boiling.
Right, it's from the aquifer, and droughts affect it a little bit, but it's always running. They never dry up.
Well. That explains why I'm so smart. I'm part Cherokee. No.
Right.
Hey. Okay, anyways, thank you.
Okay.
Well, let's go find some more kiosks.
All right.
Hey everyone, we're at Dade City and we found the marker. And what happened here, Chris?
Marker number 10, it's Hibiscus Park in Dade City. And the marker, if you look at it, it talks about how they found corn in a nearby village. I believe the village was called Guasacoso. I'm probably murdering that name. And they were very happy to find the corn because they were running out of foods and they needed to eat. So this corn, they found the village abandoned, I believe, and they raided the cornfields and took the corn and ate it. And that's what the marker here talks about.
Wow. No, seriously though, think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, just look around you.
Right.
Can you imagine what it looked like here? And they just,
quite
found
different, yeah.
corn and it was still green.
Right, yeah. And yeah, that was the other thing. It wasn't really ripe, but they were so hungry they ate it anyway.
So I read the sign earlier and it says that the food was good as gold.
Yes, and that's what the
they were
sign
starving.
says up here. As good as gold.
Yeah.
And that's what they were looking for, gold. But when you're starving, food is more important than gold.
That's right.
Right.
Well, let's go see if we can find the next kiosk.
Right.
Hey everyone, we're in Richloam right now. Chris is at the area that Hernando de Soto came through. And I'm letting him do his thing. But, you ever been to Richloam General Store? It's right over here around the corner. I'll get a video when we go by. I go there, they got the best seasonings. My favorite is the garlic and onion powder. The Richloam general store. Cutesy, right? I'm gonna go in here and get my garlic and onion powder. Here we go. Okay, you gotta go to Richloam general store and get your garlic and onion powder. Yes. I'm making friends. Hi. Oh.
Sources say that the kiosk is at the Richloam Tower trailhead, and if we look up here, I don't know if you can pan over, there's an old fire tower back here.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, and this is the trailhead. There's a trail over there, and this obviously is a kiosk, and I'm thinking that at one point they had the DeSoto markers in here, but they're gone. It's all just stuff about the trail and camping and stuff like that. So another one that's missing.
Hey, hi. This is Fill in the Blanks with Kathy and Chris. Chris is going to tell you about Richloam.
Yeah, we had some missing kiosks, and we're filming this after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
There was one at Richloam that was missing, and I was able to find an image of what the kiosk did look like, and the image and the information on it. We'll be posting it in the video here. From what I can tell, the area of Richloam is probably, it was kind of a staging point for DeSoto and his men before they went into the area of the Withlacoochee, which is a swamp area, and eventually crossed the river, the Withlacoochee River. The kiosk did mention something about Gallegos. That's our little annoying dog, if you can hear our little annoying dog.
She has separation anxiety.
Yeah, she's at the door there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the kiosk did mention something about the scout Gallegos that was sent out to the Paracocci, and that it mentioned that he sent a message back to DeSoto about that he couldn't find the chief and everything. And I don't know, when I was looking at it at Richloam, I was kind of thinking, this really doesn't have anything to do with the area of Richloam, but it was probably just another area that they crossed. They were crossing, and they were taking captives, they were foraging for food, things like that. So that kiosk is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was there up until a few years ago, and maybe it had something to do with the recent hurricanes. There was a lot of tree fall and whatnot in that area, so that could have been it.
Otherwise, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
Beautiful places. I got to go over to Richloam.
That's one of our favorite places anyway. We knew where it was.
Store.
Yeah. The Richloam General Store is a great place.
Mm-hmm.
But the forestry kiosk is still there, and from what we found was the DeSoto kiosk was right next to it, and there's nothing there now.
Just walking around this beautiful park while Chris does his thing. There's nobody here, but it's also kind of chilly for Florida. Check it out.
is the 12th marker on the DeSoto Trail, and this is a problem that we're going to be running into. We've already run into it before.
Mm-hmm.
And they put these things up in the 1980s, so we're finding a lot of them are missing. For some reason, this was taken down. I don't know why, but the marker just talked about general things. It's online, a picture of the marker. And I think one thing it mentioned was that they had children actually along the way.
That's horrible.
With the conquistadors, and they, their task was to drive the pigs.
Really?
They had actually pigs with them along the way,
Right.
for food, obviously. But they did march through in this vicinity. Nothing of real consequence happened here. I think the marker also talked about being attacked by the natives. That happened a lot along the way, but there was no specific battle here or anything like that. But the trail did go through this general vicinity. We just finished up part 2, went to a lot of places.
We did.
Learned a lot of things, and saw a lot of beautiful areas. That's the good thing about this.
The birds.
Yeah.
I love birds.
Yeah, finding new areas and learning a lot about DeSoto's march through Florida.
Yeah, and it's fun to be at those places because even like you say, you wonder what it was like when they were there.
Right.
They stood in these grounds and you're looking around and obviously it don't look anything like what it did when they were here, but still you're in their footsteps. And that's what we're doing.
You are somewhat. You're in the same vicinity. And yeah, you do wonder what the landscape was like. It wasn't these cleared fields and everything. They were probably just marching through pines and oaks. Always wondering where the next native attack is coming from. But you try to put yourself back in those times and imagine what it was like. And in some of these areas, like these wooded areas, you can kind of get that feeling.
Yeah, and those natives, they were smart.
Yeah,
yeah.
Very cunning and smart.
Go that way.
The bad way they were treated.
When they should have went that way, right?
Yeah, they kind of got back at the Spaniards a little bit, but yeah, it was a cruel thing that was done to them. It was a cruel world back then, but they fought back. Yeah, they fought back.
Okay, well, I am going to put a link to part 1. The first video when we started out in Tampa over the Skyway Bridge, and it was the DeSoto Memorial.
DeSoto Memorial was the starting point, pretty much. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you for watching.
Okay.
Bye.
See you later.
I dropped my mic. Blooper.